Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what is already going to be the last session of Automation Days Asia 2021. What has it been a great conference and what an experience. And from my perspective, time really flew by these last 2 days. We had a packed program with so many different sessions and so many different speakers, and I really hope that it was worth your time. Please stay with me for the last 10 minutes while I will do some closing remarks and will guide you on where you can find the recordings, the materials, and some of the logistics with regards towards this conference. I also would like to ask everyone that to submit their feedback on what you thought about this conference and to indicate any topics that you would like to see hosted on next conferences. Like all the other previous sessions, towards the end of this session, you will get an evaluation form. And whereas we normally see a lot of people fill this in quickly to go to the next session, I would like to ask 2 or 3 minutes of your time to give us a bit more detailed feedback on what you thought about the conference in general, speakers, topics, and the way that it has been structured. We're always looking to improve, so your feedback is greatly appreciated, and we really do review all of that. So please let us know what you thought was going well and other things that you might think can be done better the next time around. Before I get started with some words of thank you, I just wanted to also take a moment to thank our speakers and sponsors for today. And most notably, People Search, who has been doing a great job of making this conference possible. So a quick word of thank you towards all of our sponsors, without whom this event would not have been possible. As you've been experiencing for the last 2 days, this conference is hosted completely free of charge for all of the participants. And that would really not have been possible without the generous support of our sponsors for the Automation Days Asia 2021. I specifically want to thank Symphony Summit AI for being our platinum sponsor for this event, as well as People Search, the Service Automation Framework, and UiPath, who have all been making contributions to ensure that the platform was made available for free and that all of the sessions could be hosted accordingly. I hope everyone joins me in expressing our gratitude towards these companies for making this all possible. So if everyone can clap their hands in the appreciation, that would be greatly appreciated. The conference would also not have been possible without our great lineup of speakers. Over the last 2 days, you have been engaging with more than 16 different speakers from a variety of different industries. Our speakers range from India to Japan and towards Australia and everything in between. I especially want to thank our keynote speakers, Eric, Floor, and Sachin, for being part of the conference today, as well as all of the other speakers who have been sharing their insights and that have been guiding us on great knowledge around how to apply automation in order to transform the way that we work, increase skills, and increase productivity within any organization. When we started with planning this conference, we could never have imagined that we would get towards such an amazing lineup of speakers. So I also wanted to pause for a quick moment to sincerely thank all of the contributors that have been part of this event and that have taken the effort to prepare slides, take the time to share their knowledge with us, and be part of Automation Days Asia 2021. Your efforts are truly appreciated, and I sincerely hope you are coming back on any of our upcoming events. Speaking about upcoming events, if you have been listening for the last 2 days and you've been inspired, or you would like to share your story, your experience with automation, contribute to a panel, or even host an entire presentation, please feel free to reach out to us. We always say that the last day that a conference ends is the next day that we're starting with preparing for the new one. So if you would like to be featured in any of our upcoming conferences or on the Automation Days for next year, by all means, do feel free to reach out to me or any of our other team members to get in touch with us in order to reserve your speaking slot for next year's conference. The more knowledge is being shared, the more valuable these conferences become. So I highly encourage you to apply for this and let us know what you would like to share during any of the next Automation Days. Besides that, I also want to kind of wrap up with a number of key takeaways that I personally found very interesting. What I thought was really exemplary throughout these sessions in the last few days is that we covered so many different topics from a variety of the spectrum of automation. Today in the panel discussion, for example, we talked about marketing automation, but we've also seen more technological aspects like the design of workflows. We talked about low code and, for instance, how chatbots and voice AI systems can increase automation in almost any company. There is one common thread that goes throughout all of these sessions. And it's my very fundamental belief that automation is a topic that will keep on growing, and it's here to stay. So I hope that this conference truly inspired you to start learning more about automation, because this is not a topic that will go away anytime soon. A second key takeaway that I really learned myself also with the discussion with all of the different speakers is that automation, even though it's tackled and it's discussed through technology, is primarily a people business. And that means that automation will never be successful without first going into knowledge and skills and looking at business processes and how those can be optimized. It all starts with knowledge. It all starts with skills, and the technology is really there to support us. So that also means a challenge for you. I would like to challenge you to really think about how you can increase your own knowledge and start learning more about automation. Start to see how you can drive this in the workforce. Besides knowledge and skills, we also talked a lot about how a digital transformation and change management is necessary. Automation does not start with just an individual initiative. It is a company-wide change program that a lot of people would need to be involved in. So consider it a change project, something that you can drive throughout the next few years in order to move your organization from your current service offering towards a more automated service offering. And the third key takeaway that I want you to really think about is how you can get started yourself. Throughout the last few days, we have seen a number of more practical workshop solutions, looking at things like how to design your own first robots, looking at things how to design self-service portals, or even to compose your own service automation blueprints. What we've really tried to do with this conference is not only provide you with the theory, but also some practical aspects that you can start working with right after this conference. And hopefully you will start with that on Monday morning. So those are the three key highlights that I kind of wanted to summarize as key takeaways from this conference. And I hope you found it really worth your time and that you thought that this was something that provided you with good information and good knowledge and has maybe inspired you to start looking at new solutions, new approaches, or to start an automation project within your own organization. The next thing I would like to note is that we've been receiving a lot of requests the last 2 days on whether we would be able to share the materials or whether any kind of recordings have been made. The answer to this question is obviously yes. Every session that was on the screen has been recorded. We require a little bit of time to edit some of those sessions, but we're putting all of those up on the social media channels as well. If you browse, for instance, to the YouTube Cybiant channel, you will already see that most sessions from yesterday are already there. So you can review the recordings of each of the sessions on the YouTube channel that we've hosted. And the second main option is that we're also in the process of placing all of the recordings on the events page itself. Note that the events page will remain live for the next 3 months, so you still have some time to review and watch the recordings. And after that, we will already launch the next page for next year's conference. But the YouTube recordings remain there. In case you would like to receive individual slide decks or would like to have specific parts of presentation, please feel free to reach out to us. Some of the presentations are coming from other companies, so they would like to send those to you directly. But note that all of the information that has been shared will be able to be retrieved online. So if you did miss a session or you would like to rewatch a particular section, by all means, you're free to do so. Last but not least, I want to once again truly thank you. Without the participants, and we had over 350 in this conference, this event would not be possible. Also note that we're already in the process of planning for Automation Days 2022. And I know that even though that sounds far away, time goes by very, very quickly. So I'm sincerely hoping that I will see you again at next year's edition, maybe as a speaker, maybe as a panelist. But until that time, I would like to encourage you to start thinking about how you can automate your journey. These were the last things I wanted to say before I formally close the session. Soon as I will close the session, again, there's going to be a survey to rate this particular session. But I want to again ask you very kindly if you can provide some more detailed feedback about your experience and the things that can be improved or the things that you found very well. For me personally, it has been a great pleasure to host this event, to moderate the sessions, to speak to all of the attendees, either on the chat or through the questions. And I wanted to again say a big thank you for being so engaging, for being so participative. And I really hope to see you again on next year's edition. That was Automation Days 2021. See you back in next year's edition.